Democratic Rep Tulsi Gabbard advises Koch-funded university center. The center's director has ties to neo-Confederate figures. A Democratic presidential candidate is an advisor to an academic center funded by the Republican Party's most notorious donor, Charles Koch. So, it's an academic center that gets money from the Koch brothers. Okay, so Tulsi Gabbard is one of 12 advisors of a foreign policy center at the Washington, D.C.-based Catholic University of America. The Center for the Study of Statesmanship was founded in 2017 with a $2.65 million grant from the Charles Koch Foundation, which gives tens of millions of dollars to American colleges and universities each year, usually to fund ideological free market academic programs. The position is not listed on Gabbard's 2017 financial disclosure, the most recent available. The center, which considers how American constitutionalism, with its emphasis on limited and decentralized power, virtue, and deliberation, relates to statesmanships in foreign and domestic affairs, brings in professors and visiting fellows, sponsors conferences, seminars, and lectures. So, based on the nature of her positions, this is an organization she would likely be part of. She's qualified to be part of this. She handles foreign affairs. This is something she would likely be a part of. And because the Koch brothers have infected academia, they put some money into this organization. So, and that's not a good thing. I mean, the Koch brothers are despicable, and they have no business being in academia. But to use this to kind of draw a direct connection to Tulsi Gabbard, I'll say this. If articles came out connecting politicians' ties to every, whatever the organization be, if people in the media were as critical of every politician as they are of Tulsi Gabbard when it comes to stuff like this, man, people would be a lot more awake to stuff, because they would show you that Cory Booker has ties to Big Pharma, and he kneecapped Bernie Sanders' plan that would make prescription drugs cheaper. People would be talking about Kirsten Gillibrand's upcoming fundraiser with big pharma executives at Pfizer, who are going to have a fundraiser for them. People would be talking about how the Clintons are on the board at Walmart. People would be talking about, I mean, the list goes on. People would be talking about how Debbie Wasserman Schultz is involved with payday lending. And all these infractions I've mentioned are far more deeper and way more direct than this, for instance, of Tulsi Gabbard being on a board in an academic center whose mission statement is in line with the type of work Tulsi Gabbard does, and they get Koch money. Is it a good thing they get Koch money? Of course not. Of course not. But that's like saying NPR gets Koch money. So that's like saying everybody that works on This American Life is affiliated with the Koch brothers. Everybody that does anything on NPR is affiliated with the Koch brothers. Same thing. NPR gets Koch money. And it has it affected their programming? Yes. It certainly has. But does that mean that every single person that works, that they must be doing the Koch brothers bidding? It's not that direct of a connection. Hey, wait, don't tell me. It's all... The Koch brothers wrote all those jokes. The Koch brothers, unfortunately, have tentacles in a lot of different places. And in this case, it looks like they have tentacles in an academic center. And this person was desperate to write a smear piece on Tulsi Gabbard, and this was the best they could come up with. Gabbard, a military veteran, has often opposed U.S. engagement in overseas conflicts, including war-torn Syria, so she is not out of place among anti-war interventionists. Anti-interventionists. Anti-war is not really. This is the important part. That's the important part right there. She's an anti-interventionist. The Koch brothers are not anti-interventionists. So when Tulsi Gabbard stops being an anti-interventionist, let me know. This article just acknowledged she's an anti-interventionist. But we're playing the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with the Koch brothers, and we got something on Tulsi Gabbard. And Tulsi Gabbard is not perfect. She is deserving of criticism, just like everybody else. Just like Bernie, just like everybody else. But, I mean, because she is an anti-interventionist, because she is a peace candidate, because she has upset the establishment on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, she's also susceptible to a lot more smear pieces. Her and Bernie. They're the two actual progressives. They're going to get the most smear pieces. And that continues to be the case. And, you know, here at this show, nobody gets a pass, but it's important to draw the distinction between just a very lazy smear piece and valid criticism. And there's been lazy criticisms of people that I don't like, and I'll acknowledge that. There was something that came out about Cory Booker. I'm not a fan of Cory Booker. But there was something that came out, and the big critique of him was that he's single. Is America ready for a single president? What was the headline? And who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? He's single? That's a reason to not like the guy? So, you know, I'm just saying, I'll be fair. You know, there are some really lazy criticisms out there of politicians that I'm not a fan of. And full disclaimer, I have given to two campaigns so far. I've given to Bernie Sanders and I've given to Tulsi Gabbard as an individual. I'm still kind of hoping they team up, because I think that if we don't have the strongest foot forward, progressives don't have a chance at the White House in 2020. I really think we gotta have the strongest progressive showing we've ever had to not only beat Trump, but also beat the Democratic establishment. And I actually think that the primary part, the Democratic establishment, is going to be the toughest thing to beat. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and